Well, this is definitely a fun episode, that's to say the least. Hello everybody, today we're going to talk about another gorgeous episode of Kamen RIder Legend featuring Gotchard. Alright, this time in episode 33. So we start with the episode with Minato and Spanner looking over the footage of what happened last week episode with the king. As Spanner doesn't believe that it actually is the king because they thought that the door was sealed and closed off. Minato said that they've been detecting a lot of unknown signals from the Ouroboros realm and that nobody's been able to enter the realm at all. Not even Lachesis, who haven't had the powers, to put Minato inside the realm like what happened a couple episodes ago. So that is very concerning that we have just now figured out what was going on. We see the king with Clotho and Tropos talk about 100 and tells Clotho to go investigate. And we see the three members that we saw last week's episode. And they pretty much worried that Gotchard would be a little difficult considering he defeated some guy from the special named Gingetsu, who from the Gotchard RIder Legend special. The guy that turned to Kamen RIder Barlock. And from the credits, it seems like they actually are interested that one of them named Saigetsu, who was actually played by Katsuya Takagi, who interestingly played Misaki from Amazon 2016. So I guess now we have nearly all of the pest control members from Kamen RIder Amazon 2016, with Clotho, and last season with Kekara, and the season before Revice with the director guy. So I guess we now have all of them except for Haruto's actor and again Mamoru. And very correctly, they haven't been acting in the main line Kamen RIder. But it's cool that Katsuya is able to come in. Another guy we have is a woman named Mime, who is actually a new actress named played by Fumi Taniguchi, and not really much know her. It seemed like her first time being a writer, being credited. And the last guy being Tasogari, played by Ryumi Hashido, who mostly played minor characters from here and there, mostly somewhat of a suit actor, and also a minor character from 01, I think named Ida or something, from a lot of 01 specials, but not really that more major, so I guess this is the first time playing something significant at least. And they all three come together at the way to find a way to crush Gotchard. Speaking of Gotchard, we see Hotaro mopping the restaurant thinking about 100 as he tried to remember that he actually seen them before. As Butler enters, we're making him think that it's Kajiki, as he's pretty much wondering why he's in a gorgeous looking outfit. As Butler says that he's here to help him out, as the intro played with an interesting thing of Legend for the Gotchard logo appearing before the Gotchard logo appears once again. So that's pretty cool to see. After that, in the special intro, we then see Butler talking with the rest of the gang in the base. As he pretty much revealed his face is pretty much 97% and matched to the original Kajiki. And everyone there tries to find a way to understand what's happening about learning about 100 and how they're actually a group that invades other worlds. As Helper 1 warns them about something happening outside, and we actually see that it's actually a portal similar to Decade Power with a bunch of people looking after it. And I'm just wondering why they're standing around, not continue to move around, but again, we're all like curious people, so I guess that's something to be worried about. As the gang arrives alongside Butler to see what's happening, as the three members from the beginning of the episode come in and introduce themselves, because they didn't introduce themselves, so I'll just tell you now about their name. And they tried to find a super weapon around the area. They say that the portal that they've been opening up has several members of 100 of their, like an army in there, and about ready to attack the people. And pretty much open a small portal and reveal a bunch of other Kashins. As they start attacking the people, with everybody other than the riders go out to protect. So Minato, Sabi, and Renge alongside Butler go out to help fight out the Kashin for the people. And our three riders stay behind to fight against the three members. Again, as I said, it's like to saying that once the portal opened, their entire army will come out to fight. And Mime decide to fight Rine and Spanner, while Saigetsu and Tasogari decide to take on Hotaro. So yeah, kind of unfair to the 201 fight. Come on, guys. And we have a really cool out of suit fight between all of our 6 riders. Pretty cool to see our actors try to see, and also a stunt though. And interestingly, Hotaro has the power to change between fights because his face somehow changes in multiple scenes. I know, it's just a suit actor. I mean, it's just a double. Not suit actor, it's a double. But it's pretty funny that we actually have like the camera lingering on the double's face at all times. And that's pretty funny to see. And surprisingly, Mime actually the first one to take out her rider form, which is the Vision Driver. At Tazaguri, then he takes out the Eternal Driver, and Saigetsu takes out Dark Kiva. Even during the Gaburi little function, actually gets bitten by Dark Kiva and actually put it on his neck. It's pretty cool to see. And they all transform to Dark Riders. So yeah, maybe it becomes Glare, Tatsugiri becomes Kamen RIder Turtle, and Saigetsu becomes Dark Kiva. And it's pretty cool to see how nice the suits look. Eternal actually has a nice little glitch effect, like when Tazugiri transforms into Eternal, there's a little glitch in his arm to show the red before the blue. So that's really cool to see that they remember the continuity of the shows. Also, another cool fact, looking at the credit, it's actually pretty cool that Tazugiri and Saigetsu actors actually seem to be credited. Like Katsuya and Ryuma respectively are both credited as being the suit actors for their respective writers, which is pretty cool to see. Except for Mime being Glare, her actress was not the one that did the suit. That was actually done by another person named Nana no Sakai, doing the suit double for Glare. But again, it's actually pretty cool that two of the three actors actually being their own stunt doubles for these suits. That's pretty cool to see. Anyway, we have a full-out rider fight as all three of our riders transform to take on these three riders. Cloto watches over them for the background. And we see the rest of our gang try to fight out the Kashin and almost about to lose couple people until Lachesis arrive and transform to Valveron, which is pretty cool that she actually is able to transform to Valveron now. And it actually takes out some of the Kashin. And also pretty cool that her own version of Valveron actually has some cool like green little effects on the suit. So in order to make it a difference between her version of Valveron and Spanner version of Valveron, which is pretty cool to see. So yeah, she takes down some of the Kashin, and we see Rina and Spanner fight on Mime with Kamen RIder Glare. And I would say that they're losing, which is pretty weird considering Glare wasn't actually that strong. I mean, Glare is strong, but not anything compared to Eternal or Dark Kiva. Considering Glare was able to be taken down by a bunch of upgrade forms like the Twin Command and Nago in her beat form, while Eternal and Dark Kiva were taken down by final forms. But yeah, that's their power scale in a nutshell. It just depends on the plot because Hotaro somehow is struggling against the 2-on-1 because it's 2-on-1, but still at least handling his own in his base form. So yeah, speaking of Hotaro, he continued to fight Tazugiri and Saigetsu, and pretty much confirming that it's not actually their power. And Tazugiri explained that they actually not their power at all, and when he tried to say this, it's pretty concerning that we actually see the Eternal suit kind of not holding up because it actually becomes yellow underneath some of the lens from the camera. So yeah, it's pretty much showing that the suit is still not up to date, which is pretty normal because many of the double suits are not really in good conditions compared to the other suits in Heisei Phase 2. So yeah, they're actually borrowing rider power from other worlds, which is to be expected. But I'm gonna get that probably in all three of them are not using it at full power, considering that it's not their actual like rider form. So I'm gonna get that they're not actually as powerful as they would be at the original user. And we see Otaro transform to X-Rex to continue fighting them. As I get to make use of his power to call a type of like little power of the green bat to trap Hotaro, make a cool little rider punch using the Twistle again to transform him into the red moon, and then punches Hotaro to get pretty far off. It's pretty cool to see. Really cool to see these all the little power ups in more modern day CG. It's really cool to see. As Kachigi arrived trying to get through the crowd as he wanted to get to a special event, and see Hotaro fighting the two riders, and actually pretty excited to know that the rumors online are true about the Kamen Rider. As he meets up with Butler, making him pretty shocked to see that he's a doppelganger, where Butler say that it's not him. It's pretty cool to see this actor playing two different type of characters, and actually pretty nice to see how different they are from one another. I actually really like Kachigi's actor. They're doing his best. So yeah, Rina and Spanner struggle with Mime as she actually uses Glare's unique ability to take control of other riders. But it's pretty cool to know that it is pretty much canon that he can take control of other riders outside of the DGP member. And a pretty cool effect that we actually see her helmet visor change with the little glare lines in the the lens. It actually uses her to attack Spanner until Lachesis arrived to fight against Mime. As Hotaro later pretty cool turns into Fire Gotchard. So I've never seen Hotaro transform to all of his forms. So yeah, using Fire Gotchard to take care and even the playing field with his speed. And even using a new version of Ant Wrestler with Fire Gotchard, where I don't think we haven't seen other than normal version of Gotchard with the Steam Hopper and the Bushido one. So pretty cool to see Ant Wrestler have his own version of the Fire Gotchard. And just like slams them to the ground. So it's pretty cool to see like he just grabs both of the Dark Rider, just slams them. And then turning to Iron Gotchard as well to continue the fight. So yeah, it's pretty cool to see all his forms working together. And pretty, again, interesting that, like always, whenever a new suit is introduced with some sort of drawback, later episodes they just don't acknowledge it anymore. So yeah, he just uses Iron Gotchard without being, in pain. And we see Spanner trying to take down Rine as best as he can, but can't really do it as he's pretty much holding back. And Kloto arrives ready about to bust us from all the action and all the power, and she said that she wants to join in. It actually calls in something called the Abyss Gear, so at least we have a name for what this new form of Kloto is called. It turns into her monster form with the same little sequence from last week's episode. So I'm gonna get that this is gonna be a recurring thing. And go to fight everybody, like stick down Rene, Spanner, Lacazette, and even Mime. Hey, fighting all 4 of them, and then actually knocked out Rene out of her transformation and actually freed her from her mind control. As Spanner and Lacazette take this opportunity to attack and defeat Mime, actually doing a pretty cool finisher with their swords and defeating her. Not really killing her, just defeating her, as she uses the opportunity to escape. But then Kloto continued to fight and takes down Spanner, but then about to attack Lacazette, but actually stops, as you know, that's her sister. And a pretty nice scene with no words needed to show how she feels about her own sister. And it's pretty nice to see how the actors are all conveying their emotion with just their face. And it's really nice to see, and I literally love it. As Kloto decided to just leave, making Lacazette be saddened by her own sister's action. And we see Mime try to run until Zane arrived. Yeah, Zane from Kamen RIder Outsiders. Pretty cool, but it's not actually done by Yuta's actor. Instead, done doing by Zane's voice actor. And interestingly, he uses Super 1 powers. So it's pretty cool to see that he can also using the Showa era riders and uses his martial arts fighting skill, and Mime tried to turn to Glare once again to fight him off, but doesn't last as long, as Zane does a pretty cool Super 1 finisher using a lot of kicks, a lot of spins, and then Rider kicks her and actually kills her with a pretty powerful kick, as she just turns into like some sort of dust or something and disappeared. And pretty wink nudge to the audience, saying that an outsider, that she's pretty weak for an outsider, and just leaves. So yeah, I get that just a hint that the next episode of Outsider coming out, I think next month or next week. So I get to use the opportunity to promote that episode. We see Hotaro lose to the other members, and revealing his identity to the crowd and Kajiki. But it doesn't really matter because, you know, he's just gonna lose his memories again. So it's kind of sad that we never had to see that stick. And Hotaro doesn't give up and will continue to fight as they get to try to do a really cool rider kick. Okay? And then a girl appeared, tried to look for her mother, and I was just asking where she came from and had she not paid attention to what's been happening around the area of the Kashin. And Hotaro goes out of his way to protect her, even made dodging Saigetsu attack to get her out of the way. As Tatsukuri says that it's pretty much rider-like for him, even giving him a little clap, saying that he'll save one little life over the world, you know, in face of the destruction of the world. And he still say that he's fated for hell, pretty much making a catchphrase from Eternal, you know, Daido. As Hotaro doesn't believe in that anything is a small life, or anything is a small life to pay for saving, and say that he will protect the world, both Kami and human. As the girls, they say, decide to cheer for him, calling him the Kamen Rider, but the crowd actually comes in to cheer for him too, which is actually pretty cool to see. As the intro plays, Kami's story plays in the background, and Hotaro decides to use his motivation and actually seems to be getting more power from it. And pretty cool that he actually takes his driver with a really cool Ichigo sound effect with the Cyclone driver effect on it, and using it to transform to Platinum Gotchard, which is pretty cool to have the Kemi surround him. A lot of the Kemis, interestingly from A to Z, like you see Ant Wrestler, Warp Terra, X-Rex. It's pretty cool to see how the crowd cheered for him to keep on fighting. Tatsugiri decided to use Zone. So yeah, he's going full on powerful with the maximum drive with the 26 Gaia memories as they all come in to do a rider kick. And Hotaro interestingly used 26 Kemis from A to Z to also do a rider kick, which is pretty cool to see, and defeats Tatsugiri, killing him. And it pretty much disappeared as well to dust, same to like Mime. And pretty cool to see that the 26 Kemi is actually being used from A to Z to defeat Eternal. I think that's a pretty cool little reference to the A to Z movie from Kamen Rider Double. But doesn't matter, at the Aurora curtain it's finally open for a dime machine to enter. But then instead of a dime machine, up comes out Kaguya. And Bundler comes in doing his its personality and job, saying how great Kaguya is and he's in the fate of a living legend. He pretty much said he defeated all of the army and transformed to Kamen RIder Legend. Okay, it's pretty cool to see, and I'm really glad to see Legend back. It's a really cool transformation. And he uses the power to transform to all of the Heisei Phase 1 Rider, which is pretty cool to see their finisher fight against one another, and with a theme song playing Living Legend in the background. And it's pretty cool to see the scene play out with all the Rider and their final finisher. Pretty interesting, again, when it comes to Blade, they just use Lightning Blast and never actually use Lightning Sonic. I really want to know what that's about. But anyway, really cool little finisher between all the Heisei Phase 1, ending with Kamen Rider Decade. Say that the cutscenes are about 10 years too early to take him down, which is, again, 10 years of Phase 1 of Kamen Rider, the Heisei Rider. As the credits start to roll, and everybody decided to cheer for the power that Kaguya had presented, as I get to try to use a unique power from Kamen Rider Dark Kiva, that the royal family has, as explained by Butler, saying that they have a power to call upon it to destroy the world. And I've just said that I forgot he could actually do that. I don't remember him actually doing that, but then again, I haven't seen Kiba in a long time, so I should probably rewatch it just to see if that's actually true. But it doesn't matter, as Kaguya decides to call forward his upgrade, and comes in just knocking out Saigetsu from the top of the world. Goes to Kaguya's hand. And pretty much like Kamen Rider Decade, turning into a gun. It's kind of like a gun, but then it turns into a little face of Legend. And kind of like Decade, he actually takes out his driver, puts it on the side, and puts the upgrade in where the driver was. It's pretty cool to see. And it's actually used his final form with a pretty cool little standby. I actually really like the standby effect of Living Legend. It sounds really good. And then using the gun in order to transform into Legendary Legend form. It's pretty cool to see, and I really love the fact that it kind of looks like a better version of Decade 20, Complete 21. Which, to be fair, many forms look better than Complete 21. And he used the Kimi card of the Rider on him, and actually starts to look really cool. That it actually looked like kind of like a crown or a type of scarf, using the all of the Legendary Rider Kimi card on it, and actually added some little jewelry here and there. I really do like the upgrade. I do wish there were a little bit more things to do with it. I guess there would be a form that could use a cape. Well, not a cape, just like a trench coat, kind of like Wizard, but I'm actually okay with it. As he tells Hundred to prepare themselves as we end this gorgeous episode with the fact that Legendary Legend is here. Overall, this was a pretty good episode, and it's a little concerning we're taking a detour from Kamen Rider Gotchard main story to do with Legend, but I actually am glad that we at least doing something with Legend. Instead of just being a side story, it's actually pretty cool that we're getting something with Legend. Just wish that it could have not been the main story. But I am glad that at least we're implementing something from the main story, so it's not all that bad. I will say it will take a while to get back into what was Kamen Rider Gotchard with this little side story. But judging from the preview, it seems like maybe Kaguya will be staying around. That's my theory right now. That's what I actually think that's going to happen, that he's going to stick around. So yeah, we're going to see more about Kaguya. I really hope he doesn't, but I'm going to get they are. But again, I do like Kaguya, and also 100, and I'm going to get that maybe 100 is going to be the new Foundation Act. Hopefully a much better Foundation Act, as they're actually going to be appearing in every season here moving forward. And it would make sense why they're doing some sort of anniversary with Gotchard, considering Gotchard the 5th Railroad Rider. So again, it would make sense that they want to celebrate their 5 years as Railroad Riders with something. So yeah. Overall, this is a pretty good episode. Mostly a Legend episode rather than Gotchard, but there is some Gotchard moment that I really do like with the whole Clotho and Lacus' his scene, and the whole thing about always the trope of riders being cheered on by the crowd. I don't care. I like that trope. I wanted to stay. Overall, again, really good episode. Rated wise, I give it a 7.8 out of 10. What do you guys think? Did you like this episode or do you not? What do you think about Legendary Legend and the fact that Dark Riders are coming back? Also, what do you think about Clotho and Lacus be together, like their little scene? Also, Lacus becoming Valveron. Leave a comment down below to talk more about Kamen Rider. Peace.